To help us in discourse and the top stories, we have Mr. iBrandTV Kanabe, who is an investment banker and a stockbroker, and also a head at the Securities and Investment Company Limited. How are you doing, Mr. iBrandTV?
I'm fine. I'm delighted to be with you this morning. Thank you. Thank God for life.
All right. So let's start with it. Let's start with the top stories. I wanted to ask how was the weather at your end, but we don't have much time to do that. So let's start with the top stories. Now, first is let's talk about the hike in inflation, having 24 times from last year. What do you have to think about that? As there have never been an inflation like this in the history of Nigeria. What can you say?
It is very disturbing news. It is very disturbing and quite worrisome. Yes, that to know that inflation has jumped 24 times within a period of 2 years. From October to this October. But the structural that function are also taking place in this period, especially this fiscal year. The point to that direction, because we cannot see fuel also move in that direction. What the bottom line, is after the investment and the bank accounts several years, we have lived the first life in Nigeria as a nation. How did you get here is that the president came to power 5-6 months ago and said, look, this cannot go, we can't continue like this as a nation. He said he is so categorical about it. On his inauguration, it has never also happened in the history of Nigeria. That on the day President this morning, he makes some policy statements that affected the economy immediately. And then that president has been working around the clock to bring Nigeria. When Nigeria as a nation went off guard, what happened? The petroleum is the life wire of this nation. Every other thing radiates around the petroleum. Petroleum, you use your car, your generator, the industry, in my office now we have 10. So if you run an economy, the life wire, whose life wire you touch, you expect that things are going to happen. And we were dealing with this. He took over an economy that was almost grounded in terms of security. Even goods that are produced in the interior to take them to where they are consumed is a problem. The road network are bad in Nigeria.
Yeah.
These are caused inflation. Let's look at them holistically. The road network, Nigeria is a producing nation. Walk around Nigeria, walk in the far north, where food are produced massively. If they get to Lagos, it will be surplus. But how do you get it here? These are the things that are created inflation. The road network were coming down. The thing got to a halt 6 months ago, in the last 5-6 months, lately now, when the fellow says, look, I am removing subsidy in fuel. If you want to buy petroleum, buy it at the price you can get it. And when we get it, we need dollar to bring it to Nigeria. That will take us to where do we have fuel and we cannot turn it. Why do we have petroleum that cannot be turned to fuel for us to use? That's another difference. So this inflation we are witnessing, it culminated a lot of this gravitated towards it. I want to recover insecurity. People couldn't go to farm. This is our house, our brother you see in Lagos. They are farmers that used to produce for us. This country drove them out of the farm, majority of them. The road network to bring food to Lagos, to bring to city center, not only Lagos, anywhere they are consumed, Nigeria are more easy. If they couldn't go to farm, this country chase people away from farm. And I talk to you, I run a big farm in Medo, where I come from. Fulani people are destroying my things. Chase my workers. And it happens also in the north. Of course, that has reduced my production to about 50%. What I put so much in the farm, especially this harvest period. They are chasing my workers away from the farm. In the last 2 weeks, we have been on the battle with them. So this is what is happening everywhere in the country. I'm not talking as my own as a little producer. But I was interested farming in my local area.
Let me cut you off there, Mr. Ayegbeni. Now, it has been that analysis and reports actually doing well the World Bank at some point, and at the same time they will come back to say, you know what, Nigeria is also not doing well in terms of inflation, etc., etc. They have been contradicting, how will I put it now, world financial reports, whereas Nigeria is actually facing inflation and also devaluation. Now, as at December last year, doing this from the National Bureau of Statistics, that the inflation got to over 21.0%. That was for December.
In Nigeria, you have people who are supposed to be farm riding roaming around the Lagos. And I tell you an instance of my own. Those were children where what the man did, the new administration, the only contribution they made was to remove the subsidy to say, look, this country is broke and will not be able to pay that subsidy. I will not go and talk about the maneuvering around the subsidy payment and all that. But the man would come. We have a president who is determined to say, look, I can't go that direction that my predecessors were going to. I will do that. Meanwhile, if I don't do that, why I'm solving the point we have been navigate and make Nigeria a producing country. They will insecurity. They break down the road network collapse in Nigeria. They are part of this country today you cannot go to. If the road network collapse, infrastructure decay. These are not, they were not come by this administration that came 6 months ago now. They were not.
All right, Mr. Ayegbeni. Let's not look at other stories now. There was an August visit by the director of Nigerian Port Authorities to the Tinkan Island. I actually, for me, I felt that I so much love that effect that he could just decide to go and visit them without the proper notification. And he said, and part of the effort was that to do an SOP, standard operation procedures for various containers management at the Tinkan. What do you think? How do you? I want to ask, what was your response when you heard about that?
You take the question again. Which of them is it, the airport or the seaport? Which of them?
At the seaport, at the Tinkan Island, at the port authorities, the Nigerian Port Authorities director, Bello, who actually went to visit without their unprecedented expectations, and he got there to realize that, you know what, let's clear up all this. How do you feel? Should every director or a minister do this? Just go to your sector, not announcing you are coming, and get things done?
Every administration has its own, every government has its own style, every leader has its own style of leadership. But for the man in MP, what they have done is, well, it's expected. It's just a style of administration, but I don't see anything basically wrong with what he has done. It's just his style coming to if I get your question right, that he went there to, I didn't really get the story, but I think it's just a style of administration. I read it passively. The new man, the guy in the MP, I just simply call it a style of administration. Somebody introducing his own style of doing things, not doing it the usual way other people were doing it. But I don't see anything to carry wrong with it.